This is the real uncut homesteading. Yesterday I posted pictures of, or videos of all the cabbage that I had growing, and this morning I walked out and my goats had escaped to their electric fence, and they ate every single thing I had planted. So everything that I've worked for the last 8 weeks is completely gone, and we're gonna have to start over. And that's just the reality of it all. And I'm kind of at a loss of where to start. Torn it all out, so now we will get these rows put back together. After a good cry, I mean, what do? You just have to start over. So heartbreaking though, because they were, if you go back and look at the shorts that I posted yesterday, they were so big. And I'm already like 4 weeks behind from where I was last year because of the hurricane. And so it just, I mean, luckily here in Florida, we have a long time to grow fall and winter vegetables, but it's just really heartbreaking to know that you put that much work into something and had it that big, and it was so pretty. It was like probably the prettiest garden I've ever done, and it's my first year growing stuff in ground, and I'm just it feels just so heartbreaking to know that all the work that you did got tore out in by 4 little tiny goats in probably 30 minutes that it took me to get the kids to school. We just start this video like we're starting over. So I went and got my seed packet, and we're gonna replant everything, and I'll go through with what I'm planting with you for the second time. There's a lot of weeds, like little weeds, so I don't want to mess up my rows though, but I guess sorry, the sun's really bad. It's very early in the morning. I guess I am going to hula hoe kind of around the rows. I don't want to mess up the rows though, so I'm not going to do it too much. And then we'll start over. And I didn't go get my microphone. This is going to be a hot mess video. Hopefully y'all can all hear me. Yeah. So plant a seed, believe in tomorrow. It'll grow. We might have to throw some extra fish emulsion on there, high nitrogen, to get back caught up. But it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Now that I've cried and gotten all that out of the way, it'll be okay. Okay, now that I got that all cleaned up, I'm gonna go turn on the soaker hoses because I find it easier to plant the seeds in these, the rows. I did like the raised row this year. I find the seeds easier to plant in the raised rows when it's wet. So I'm gonna go turn on the water hose. I'm sorry for the sun. It's morning time, so this isn't gonna be the best video y'all have ever seen. But this is an in the moment video, and I think something that needs to be shared because not everything is perfect the way that sometimes we make it seem when we are watching other people's videos. So let me go turn the water on and let it start soaking, and then we'll get to planting our seeds. So basically I'm just gonna plant everything back just like I had it. This was Copenhagen cabbage, which does insanely well here. That's the cabbages in the video that I posted yesterday. You'll go and look there. They were huge. Lots of green and just huge. So Copenhagen, it's gonna go back right here. This is what I used to space them. And there's ants all in here. I'm probably gonna get tore up by ants. Anyway, because those came out after the hurricane too. I just use this to space. Like, it was like the perfect spacer for all of my brassicas. Luckily, the carrots that are on the end survived. Probably because they're like just barely green, popped up. Swiss chard that was on the end barely popped up, it survived. And lettuce. So I'm just replanting my big, nice brassicas. So we're gonna start this row with the Copenhagen cabbage. And I'm just gonna put 2 to 3 seeds because I don't have a lot of time to waste this time in each thing, and pray for the best. Now, this is where I'm gonna run into issues because I had Bronco cabbage planted in the next row, and I'm out of Bronco cabbage seeds because I used them all when I started seeds. So I'm gonna replace the Bronco with Golden Acre because that's what we have. I actually called around this morning to see if the local farm store had any sprigs this year, or plugs this year for sale, because I'm like so frustrated with this. But of course they aren't selling those this year. They're selling Bonnie plants. So we're gonna start from seed. It's okay, we live in Florida. Most people are just now planting their fall garden. I just always like to be ahead. So it is what it is. It makes me feel behind, but I'm not really behind, so it'll be okay. Like I said, I am out of Bronco cabbage seeds, so let's... Oops, seeds just went everywhere. We might have 2 random ones pop up. We're gonna go with this Golden Acre because that's what we got. The Bronco was doing really well too. Anyway. It'll all be okay. Alright, let's plant this Golden Acre. I'm gonna have to come back and change this tag out, or I'll be thinking that I grew Golden Acre all year long, because I will not remember that I had to change seed packets. Anyway. A garden is so much hard work, and this is the first year. I mean, I've always had chickens that destroyed a little bit of the garden. Like, you know, they always love, there's like a few beds over there, and for some odd reason they love those beds. So they're always like attacking those beds. But I've never had anything, and I've had like the hurricanes kind of wipe out sections of the garden. But this is the first time something has ever decimated the entire garden. I'm just shocked, to say the least. I like literally took the kids to school, and in the amount of time that it took to take the kids to school and come back, the goats had gotten out, and the garden was gone. I actually noticed the goats met me at the feed shack when I came driving in, and I was like, where have y'all been? And I was hoping they had just been on that side of the yard. And when I went to come over here and put them in the gate, because they were following me with the bucket of feed, I saw the garden. Yeah, I saw the garden. I don't know if I put seeds in here or not. I'm gonna put some more in. I have like 6 pops up there. Life has just really been lifing since all the hurricanes, let me tell ya. Okay. Cabbages are all replanted. No, I think it's broccoli. I think it's Waltham broccoli. Or is it DeSico? So let's get out broccoli. And go and see which one we need to replace. There you go. Hopefully I say that right. DeSico. It's probably not even Spanish. And I'm saying it like it's Spanish. Anyway. These seed packets, just to tell you how, like, people are always like, I bought seeds and they are from last year. Are they going to grow this year? This seed packet is from 2022 and I've been using it since then. And the broccoli that was here was from this seed packet. So seeds are pretty resilient. Yeah, both of my DeSico packets of seeds are from 2022. So just to give you an idea. I keep seed packets and I use them. Like, people always say the tinier seeds don't last as long, but I mean, these are tiny seeds. DeSico has been planted. I messaged a friend when I found out this happened. And of course, like, my initial thought is sell everything. Just sell it all. Don't replant the garden. We can just go buy this stuff at the grocery store, like everybody else. And she's like, girl, we are not everybody else. We are doing this for food security because we can. Because we don't know what's going to happen in the next few months. And we are doing this because we know what goes into our food. And she said, like, she kicked me in the butt. And she's like, you just got to get out there and replant. You just have to do it. And so here I am. So, if you don't have garden friends, I'll be your garden friend. You need garden friends. You need homestead friends because this stuff can weigh so heavy sometimes. All right, so let's do the walk-up. Oh look, goat poop. They fertilized my garden for me. Rah. There's a ton of traffic out here in the mornings. broccoli is done, and now it is time for cauliflower. The next row was the graffiti and the Romanesco. So those were the fancy ones, the purple one and the green one with like the spikes on it. I'll show you a picture when I get the seeds. Let me go get the seeds. This is actually my first year growing cauliflower. My husband eats cauliflower. Y'all are fixing to be shocked. I've never actually tasted cauliflower. So yeah, so the Veronica Romanesco, I don't have a picture of, but it's really neat if you look it up. It's the famous green cauliflower that keeps making its rounds. Hopefully I have enough seeds in here to replant. And then the graffiti cauliflower, which was the purple. These seeds came from Haas, and these came from High Mowing, and I think Baker Creek has both of these varieties as well. I actually have a couple graffiti because I had started some more seeds and in spots where they had died. So I do have a few seedlings left over. Same thing with the Waltham. I had like a seedling down there left behind, so I may not have enough seeds in these to do the 2 per hole that I normally do. These specialty varieties, they tend to not send you as many seeds. Okay, 2. Few left. Oh. I can't even tell where I put those seeds. Oh, whoops. Stick them back in there just in case. And then the next one will be the Veronica Romanesco. Oh wow. And there's 3 seeds left in it. What the fudge? Okay. We're just gonna plant these all together, and then I'm gonna take the snowball, I guess. What do you do? What do I have? I have snowball everything. Everything's a snowball. I'm gonna take these last graffiti. I'm gonna take these last graffiti and go down. That's what we're gonna do. And we're gonna throw out this. There's not any of those planted here now. Life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Life, really life. This is the Romanesco one. Those are going over there. And now we gotta do the snowballs. So I think sometimes people get like really confused and think that you have to buy expensive seeds in order to be successful gardening. I'll buy some, especially like my pollinators at the Dollar Tree. And then these came in one of those giant survival packs off of Amazon, and they work great. It's the Gardener's Basics brand. That's what all these that we're growing here were started from, is this pack. Because I grow on a small scale, I don't tend to use a whole pack of seeds. So, I mean, I grow enough. The only thing that you can really preserve for long term will be the cauliflower, the broccoli. I have canned collard greens before. They're pretty good. They do taste a little burnt to me almost when you can them. So like some of this stuff I don't like. Cabbage, I don't grow a ton of cabbage because I don't do sauerkraut, which would be a way of preserving it for later. I've never researched if you can blanch and freeze cabbage. I don't think it would be very good though. I think it would be very smushy. The down home stretch. I just have collard greens left to plant. Trying to remain positive without screaming, I'm gonna sell all the goats. Because that's what my husband thought I was gonna say when I messaged him. He was like, oh, are we hauling them all to the sale Sunday? No. It is kind of my fault. Okay, so not necessarily because it's a hot fence. Like it's one of those, the premier one that you stick into the ground. And it pretty much works all the time. Their feed pans, when they're eating, they'll like scooch them up to the fence. And because I have horned goats, when they're eating, their horns will get caught in the fence and they'll snatch it down. Like when I fed them, I scooched the pans farther away from the fence from the outside and just dumped it in, so they were still too technically close to the fence. So as they ate, they probably got closer to the fence, their horns caught the fence, and they snatched the fence down. Not 100% their fault. I mean, they didn't have to go for my garden, but lesson learned. Every day, every single time you feed them, go all the way in the pen. No matter how short you are on time, move all the feed pans back to the middle of the pen. My goats are on a dry lot, so they don't get to eat grass and stuff often. Yeah. They probably are having tummy aches right now. I'm looking at them and they're all laying around. That's what they get for eating my entire garden. Anyway. Let's get these collards planted, and then I'm gonna go plant some more carrot seeds in my garden because yesterday a chicken got into my carrot bed and scratched it all up. My farm animals. Anyway, let's get some collards. So if you've been following along with me this whole season, then you know that I typically plant the Georgia collards. But for whatever reason, everywhere was sold out of Georgia collard seeds, even like in the stores, which a lot of times in the big box stores, they just have them labeled collards and you don't know which variety you're getting. So everywhere was sold out of Georgia collards. Hoss, High Mowing, I'm trying to think of where else. That's probably like the only two I would ever buy collard greens from. Maybe Dollar Seed, which is a website if you've never shopped there. Florida Seed, I bet, has Georgia collards, and I bet I didn't look there this year because I didn't order a whole lot from there this year. They have great seeds. It's just I didn't need many varieties from there because I always try and like bulk my order together so that I'm not ordering from 10 different places. So I tried to stick with High Mowing and Hoss for the fall garden. Because a lot of seeds I already had on hand. So this year I'm planting the Champion collards because it's all High Mowing and Hoss had in stock. I do have some Vaded collards that I might plant in my other garden, and I actually have an entire garden bed that has little brassicas coming up in it, and I cannot remember for the life of me what I planted in there. So, and I'm seriously thinking it was baited collards now that I'm talking. But anyway, we're gonna replant these collards, and they're champions, not my typical Georges. Some of the seeds in here are yellow, and I can't figure out what that's about. There was another pack a while ago that I dumped out, and a couple of the seeds were yellow. Anyway, these can actually be planted pretty close together because I harvest all of the leaves. I don't wait and let the plant get big. I harvest individual leaves off of each plant. That way they keep producing, like you'll just harvest the bottom leaves and then the top will keep producing collard greens. So mine never take up a whole lot of space. So I'm just gonna do 6 inches instead of the 12 inches just because my plants won't ever get big enough to actually need the 12-inch spacing. And I'm just gonna eyeball it this time. I'm not super worried about the collard greens being correct. My son was sick and came home from school on Monday. My daughter was sick and came home from school yesterday. I think my daughter's is just allergies. We've all had like terrible allergies since the hurricanes rolled in. I don't know what it brought in with it, but it can like mosey its way on out of here. So we had to have our insulation replaced in our attic after the hurricane because it got flooded and it caused some insects to all come in our house. So we had to have pest control come in. We've had the barn roof replaced. We had to have fences replaced. Part of the siding on the house. I felt like there have been people in my yard and my house nonstop helping us repair all of this, which I am forever grateful for. I just feel like I can't catch a break lately. Hopefully I did that one right. They like just didn't eat everything. They like stomped and made a mess. Like I keep seeing little like footprints everywhere. Or they tore up my rows. Okay. This next row is carrots, which I can see popping up. There's a few footprints in there. Footprints, we're not going to worry about that. The next row was celery. I haven't seen any celery pop up. But we're just going to leave it till it gets cooler here because it's still like 80s in the afternoons. So maybe when it gets cooler, then if I come back and replant, it'll produce. There's Swiss chard that's still producing, and then my row of lettuce. And then all my raised beds that didn't get destroyed, I've tried to plant in them. So I'm gonna go plant some more carrots over there. And I need to keep all of these seed packets so that I know what I need to order for next year. I've started, as soon as I empty a seed packet, reordering it or saving it until I have enough to reorder. Because like this year I ran into a lot of the seeds that I needed were sold out. So I'm thinking if I plan ahead, they won't be sold out. So like in Florida, we plant fall vegetables, or we plant brassicas and cool weather crops in the fall. And so I think what happens is the northern states plant theirs in the summer. So like that year, once they're sold out, because the northern states buy them for the summer, then here we come at the end of the year in the fall and the winter buying our seeds, we're getting like what's left. So I've started buying all of it at the beginning of the year, or trying to. That way, I have it.